Alright, let's get started. Where we last left off, we had just reached Compound 2. I decided to take the opportunity and restock rations and ammunition by repeatedly running in and out and punching the same guy in the face. I didn't include that because, frankly, it's a gigantic waste of time, and who the hell wants to watch me punch somebody for about 20 minutes? Other than Kid. Anyway, back on track. This area is where things start to get far more ridiculous. The terrain was pretty bad, but this is where the game really starts to get out of hand as far as difficulty is concerned. And the initial area has a couple of supplies of note, but nothing really critical. It's basically stuff that you can restock if you want to restock it, and that's about it. At a glance, this area is also very deceptive. When you first come here, there doesn't seem to be that many areas to go, and there's no other areas to resupply for rations. So, beating the crap out of people and taking their food is pretty much the only option you've got if you want to restock. This area actually held a lot of people up for a while because it doesn't give any real clues as to what you're supposed to do. The first clue that I had was actually in desperation just randomly calling people and eventually getting this message from Nick, saying that we can blast through this weak wall. This, I figured, means, hey, maybe I can plant explosives on something. But it was only later on when I was screwing around the X-ray camera that I realized there is indeed an area you can blast through. And if you have power armor, which you basically have to have gotten, but you can actually miss, and this actually prevents you from, believe it or not, actually ever beating the game. If you do, you can actually push the rock and get past it. One big problem with this area is that you are going to sound alarms constantly. The plastic explosives, when they go off, will sound the alarms in every compound area you go to. There's no way around it. All you can really do is deal with the guards that show up and basically try to make the most of the situation, because this area is loaded with walls that you have to destroy. Like I said, you basically have to wipe out a hit squad each and every time you destroy a wall. And so get used to that alarm sound of music, because we're going to be hearing a lot on this run. Also, because this level happens to be kind of an asshole of a level, we're going to be dividing this one into two parts. This is mostly because the boss that is after this is such utter, complete bullshit that it is extremely hard for me to define it in mere words. To put it simply, it's a boss with no less than 4 ways to kill you instantly, all of which it is more than capable of doing just by consequence. We're about 2/3 of the way through the compound right now. And yes, we have to destroy another fucking wall. This isn't such a bad mechanic, but if it wasn't for the fact that the alarms are sounded every time you use the explosives, this wouldn't be quite as bad as it is. Also, here we get a useful little piece of equipment, specifically one we haven't seen since Metal Gear 1's beginning, the binoculars, which this game refers to as a telescope for this bit for some reason. This area is pretty straightforward as far as actual layout goes, but it can be a little complicated due to the fact that there's a lot of areas where you have to head through multiple doors. And just to get rid of the frickin' sound, that frickin' alarm music, I'm gonna kill these guys right here. Again, grenades and other explosives, so much better in this game than they were in Metal Gear. It's completely ridiculous. And here, I'm sorry.
I got a shotgun.
I apologize for that, I had to. The shotgun is the most powerful weapon in the game. Each shot from it can't be silenced, but every shot from it fires 4 pellets each, which does about 3 or 4 times as much damage as the pistol. So at point blank range, it will destroy just about any normal enemy in one shot, even the ones that normally take more than 1 bullet. And yes, we do encounter those eventually. Also, here we rank up. So we can now hold more health, more ammo, more rations. The only problem with the shotgun is, again, it's loud, and you really don't get a lot of uses until pretty much the end of the game. There it comes in handy. This area, if you enter the black area at all, you die instantly. The game really likes its die instantly areas. You're going to be seeing a lot of pit traps. You're going to be seeing, not in this one, but a little bit later on. You're going to be seeing a lot of areas where if you fall off, you die. Like I said, the game really likes these die instantly areas. Like, the train is basically... Yeah, see, now we gotta sound another alarm again. See, the train was pretty bad as far as, say we gotta destroy 2 walls here. The train was kinda bad in terms of like, the difficulty spike, but here, this is just asshole. Right here. This is pure, unadulterated douchebaggery we're about to face down. We're not even at the worst part. You think sounding the alarms constantly here is the worst of it? Oh, God, no. God, no. We're not even to the worst part yet. What we're about to go through, as far as, actually involves the side-scrolling areas. And you know how I feel about those things already. But the next ones are some of the worst in the game. They're not quite as bad as the ones in Fortress number 2, which we will be going through after the next boss, but they are still very bad. We start encountering new enemies in this area too, and we're going to see enemies that are armed with like rocket launchers and grenades and shit. So yeah, the enemies in the side-scrolling areas will start getting bigger. We'll also encounter shock troopers there who are stronger and more aggressive. Alright, here we go. It's possible to sneak through this area, but I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult if you don't know what to do. I mean, I'm extremely good at the side-scrolling areas, and even I fuck this up 4 times out of 10. Also, if you die in this area, you go right back to the beginning next to the train. That's right, your continue spot is next to the goddamn train. Until you get to the elevator. When you get to the elevator, it's not so bad. The enemies can't see you if you're crawling and you're right in front of them. Unfortunately, we constantly get into the position right here where we have no idea when or how the enemy's going to turn around because there's no delay. So, and of course, because the enemies do shitloads of damage here, you're going to wind up taking some hits. That's why we restock the rations. I mean, we don't even need the rations for the boss, because the boss can kill us in one hit no matter what we do. These cameras are a pain in the ass. The next one is really deceptive. When you first see it, it looks like it's going to spot you if you don't go down, but it stops right there. If you try to race it and get in there before it goes all the way down, it will spot you. So you have to actually wait. It's very sneaky. I have never determined what is the proper way to get past these guards, and all those slots in the ceiling are bomb droppers, each of which will knock off a solid 5 health if they land on you. This is where the game starts to get really ridiculous as far as just difficulty with these guys go. Alright, we made it past that one. Unfortunately, that's not the last one we're going to have in this one. This is the location of a really weird transceiver call that you can have. If you contact... I don't think I do it on this run, but if you contact Nick here, he tells you that the enemy's power armor will be available, despite the fact that you very clearly already have it. I think the implication is that this area was supposed to be actually a bit earlier, and then they moved it around in post-production. And it's Jennifer who, for the very first time, contacts us and tells us that she is at the enemy base. This here is pretty much the only ammo room for quite a bit. So it's generally a good idea to stay to park here, stock up on ammo, stock up on you know, make sure that all of your weapons are maxed out for ammo here. Again, shotgun is easily your strongest gun, but it's pretty much a short-range only weapon. Then again, most of the guns in this game are. I think it caps out at 30 ammo. Yeah, it does. We also get our final weapon here. You may have noticed that we've gotten most of the arsenal rounded out. There's only one more weapon to get. We get it in just a little bit. got landmines. The landmines work the same way they did in Metal Gear. The main difference here is their blast radius is considerably larger and the damage they do is considerably higher. These are the only weapon that will affect the next boss, and they're borderline essential for one of the later bosses too. What's rather interesting about the mines in this game is that, with the remote control missile, it's also kind of unusual in that it's one of the weapons you can hold the most of. The backpack item, when you finally get it, is a passive item that doubles the amount of remote control missiles and mines you can carry, which is kind of cool because it actually allows you to carry as many as 60 when you're fully capped out. And we have to sound another fucking alarm, of course. I hate Compound 2 so much. And we're not even to the worst part yet. Okay, watch this, because this is jerk-off territory. Looks like you're gonna just get there in time, you won't. It's specifically intended to screw with you. I don't think it makes it on the second pass either. At least not always. It's very sneaky and very, very dangerous if you're not careful. And of course, if you step into the black area at all, well, you die. This area is also loaded with a number of fake exits. If you take the other exit, it will lead you to the other little channel, and there's nothing in there. Except a guy with a rocket launcher who will fucking try to kill you. And guess what? You remember how much I love the side-scrolling areas? Because it's time for another one. This one's even worse than the last one. Again, more of these guys. Always difficult to deal with these guys because you never know exactly when they're going to turn around. If you have two of them, you're going to sound an alarm. Alright, that little thing is a shocker. There's two versions of that. There's a shocker, which shocks the water and damages you as long as you're in contact with it. And there's another one which just sounds an alarm. Either one will sound the alarm instantly if they contact you. You can crawl under them, and that's pretty much what the game expects you to do, but it's far easier to just destroy them. The only problem is it takes a lot of ammo to do it. And of course the contact mines which are rolling around at the bottom are designed to fuck with the whole situation. See, look at that. I'm using the methodology to destroy them. The guide suggests that you try to crawl under them. You see the problem right there? And this isn't even that bad an area as far as some of the later ones go. Again, the main problem with these guys is how much freaking ammo those shock units take to destroy. Usually it's about 10 to 15 shots. You can destroy them in like one if you manage to succeed. If you perfectly center a plastic explosive. That's also an alarm. There we encounter a shock trooper, and here we have the missile guys. You fire rocket launchers at us. These are one of several variant enemies who we're going to encounter that have a wide variety of different weapons. Later on we'll encounter grenadiers and potentially even jetpack soldiers. The main difference between the shock troopers and the regular guys that we encounter is that the shock troopers have automatics. They fire much quicker. They also look a little different. Oh, shit, grenadiers. Alrighty, we're almost to the end of this ridiculous nightmare. Stay tuned for next time when we fight the boss of this area, who is such complete and unmitigated bullshit that it wouldn't surprise me if it's driven people to just stop playing this game entirely. Alright.